Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master today. Because you see, today we are going to be creating characters for one of our new campaigns. That will be playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition. Oh, weird, my cover's backwards on this one, too. We will also be playing this game set in the plane-sized or the dimension-sized city of Ravnica from Wizards of the Coast Magic: The Gathering, using Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, as well as some other supplemental materials. For those who are unfamiliar with Ravnica, the gist is it is a massive city that covers an entire planet or plane that is governed by 10 different guilds that are, you're going to hear about them in the course of our session here, that exist in a uneasy truce, all pursuing their own goals. So it is a land of lots of dimensional travel, lots of intrigue, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what our heroes here are going to play. And speaking of our heroes, let me introduce everybody who's going to be playing in this game. So first up, we've got Mo.
Hi, I'm Morris, and I'm going to be playing something to be decided.
This will be a weird intro this time. Next up is Carl.
Hello, I'm Carl, and I think I'm leaning towards some sort of Minotaur barbarian.
Love it. Next up is Ingolf.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ingolf. I will be playing a Loxodon, I'm pretty sure of that.
Nice. And last but certainly not least is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm also interested in exploring some of the options available in Ravnica.
Nice. So the setting of Ravnica is has been on my kind of wish list to run for a little while. In part because the setting, it reminds me of a lot of the things I liked about Planescape back in the 2nd edition days. It's got a lot of opportunities to interact with very powerful creatures that you normally wouldn't interact with in a more controlled kind of setting. I like the idea that there are dragons and sphinxes and, giants and stuff like that that can populate our stories without having to worry about, a bunch of low-level characters getting smooshed. I also like the intrigue between the different factions in it, and I find that that the sort of high-level like technology and magic and whatnot in the setting is very conducive for the feel that you get at the table with 5th edition D&D. We don't run a lot of 5th edition D&D on the channel, and I figured we've had a lot of fun with the Eberron one-shots we've been playing for the last year or so, so I thought we would pull the trigger and see how a game set in Ravnica might play out like. Now, today's session is going to be creating characters and sort of discussing what our campaign is going to be about. One of the neat things about Ravnica is that in addition to creating a character, each of the player characters will also be filling out a host of NPCs that will be important contacts for them. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about what everyone's goal is. But first, let's maybe go through and talk about everyone's level of familiarity with Ravnica itself. Mo, do you have any, apart from the Game Master's Guide, do you have any exposure to Ravnica?
No, I've just really, I have played Magic: The Gathering, but I think that was before these cards came out. So okay. I've just really read some of the compendium stuff.
Okay.
Which it sounds really interesting.
Nice. Carl, what about you? What's your level of familiarity?
Not really. I just have the book and have flipped through it. Mm-hmm. That's about it.
Okay. Ingolf, what about you?
Yeah, I read the novels. I actually played 2 or 3 games in Ravnica as a player, so yeah.
Nice, so you're much more familiar than the rest of us. And what about you, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I would know a lot of the lore and stuff from Magic: The Gathering, but I have not played it in Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. So let's talk about when our campaign starts. So at the timeline in the Guildmaster's Guide is set after an event in the kind of the Magic game and the Magic novels as well too, where there was this ancient dragon called Nico Bolas, who's one of the oldest planewalkers. He pretty much conspired to undo the guild pact and to try and destroy Ravnica. he was unsuccessful, but it kind of left the guilds in a bit of a mess. At the time that the Guildmaster's Guide is out, it's not quite clear whether there is a guild pact. The way they describe it is that the guild pact has been manifested in the form of a human. And I should say what the guild pact was a magical creation 10,000 years ago that would prevent widespread conflict between the 10 different guilds. Each of the organizations we're going to be talking about today is 10,000 years old, at least, and in some cases, their founders are still around and still influencing what's happening in the guild. The story that we're going to be playing in is going to take place 25 years in the future from where this book is set. There was a character named Jace Balerin, who's a planewalker who is the one manifested as the Guildmaster's Pact. He has disappeared, and there appears to be a magical guild pact back in place right now. It has been about 50 years since Nico Bolas came and tried to destroy Ravnica, and like a lot of large metropolitan cities, Ravnica as soon as the guilds started competing with each other and intriguing with each other once again, it really just became a forgotten thing. The damage was repaired, and life kind of went on with the guilds, and in particular with Jace Balerin disappearing and the guild back in guild pact back in place. Now the guilds are working in a lot more concert. The reason I'm making that change is because there are certain guilds in the setting that, if there wasn't the guild pact keeping them in place, I don't know how you would ever have peace between some of the guilds. So
yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. So having the guild pact back in place as to sort of a status quo, but those events have happened, I think will be an interesting way of sort of having our cake and eating it too. To keep with the 5th edition theme, we're going to be playing 5th edition or 5th level characters as well too, so you guys will have access to some decent level spells, and I find that low level characters in 5th edition are kind of like among the most boring of all the editions. But by 3rd, you get kind of interesting, you get some of your neat abilities. By 5th, you really, we can play an interesting and fun high-action game without me worried about squooshing you by accident. I mean, whether I squish you on purpose is a whole different matter, but... so let's talk about quickly the 10 guilds that make up the Guild Pact. And I've got... I took the... What do you call it? The cover off is my Art of Ravnica. So the 10 groups are the Azorius Senate, which is founded to be the legislative body of Ravnica. Its law mages and precognitive mages use white and blue mana. I'm hearing... Does someone have a bird in the background?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. No, it's not my bird, but it's
okay.
outside.
Wait, did someone get a parakeet? Sorry.
No. I mean, I live here in the countryside. Yeah.
Oh, and it's which is lovely. Yeah. I imagine I was like, what is it? Was something wrong with my headset? All right, so then the Azorius Senate is the first one. Use white and blue magic. They are the legislative body for Ravnica. The Orzhov Syndicate is run by a Ghost Council. That is the case again. The Planewalker who killed the Ghost Council has long since disappeared, and the sort of status quo is returned to the Orzhov. They are equal parts criminal syndicate, bank, and church. And they their pontiffs and oligarchs use white and black mana. House Dimir is a guild of couriers, information brokers, and librarians, but spies and assassins are also known to populate their numbers. They make use of black and blue mana. The Izzet League is one of the few guilds whose Perrin, the founder of the guild, remains in, or at least who was present at the formation of the Guild Pact, is still alive. Niv Mizzet is a ancient and now risen from life, because he was actually killed during Nico Bolas's invasion. Brought back to life. The Izzet League is in charge of infrastructure and public works. Its blast seekers and chemists use red and blue mana. The Cult of Rakdos is a demon-led hedonistic cult in charge of entertainment, mining, and manual labor. They make use of black and red mana. The Golgari Swarm are charged with maintaining Ravnica's agriculture and waste management. The Golgari were led by an elf necromancer named Svogthir. There's actually 3 different subspecies of elves in the setting as well, 2 dark elves that are part of the Golgari swarm. There are another group of elves whose name I don't remember right now, who are part of the Selesnya Conclave, and there's a third as yet unnamed guild that are a group of elves that are part of the Simic Combine. So if you know, there's a lot of interesting variety in even within that one race. The Golgari swarms, they use black and green mana. They're shamans and spore druids. The Gruul clans are are led by a Cyclops, who claims to be descended from the original Perrin, the one who founded or brought the Gruul clans in. They are in charge of the Ravnica's natural places. You may think that the Ravnica doesn't have specific, like wild, untamed areas. But like, if you take green spaces in major cities in our world, like the Central Park, or and then sprawl that up to a kind of like Star Wars, exaggerated scale. That's sort of where they are. They also tend to be in charge of places called Red Barrens, I believe, which are basically trashed parts of the city that have been abandoned. So there are dilapidated and abandoned parts of the city. The Boros Legion, led by the Archangel Razia, is the Ravnica's standing army and law enforcement. Its Ember Mages and Medics use red and white mana. The Gruul clans and the Boros Legion are particularly antagonistic towards each other. Selesnya Conclave is a group of, let's see here, healers and hierarchs who use green and white mana to work for conservation and charity, while the Gruul clans have connections to sort of the more wild and untamed elements of nature. The Selesnya Conclave is more the serene and the contemplative elements. They control a lot of parks and so forth. And then finally, the Simic Combine is a group of biomancers and force mages who use green and black magics to create life or to make substantial changes. Members of the Simic Combine will make crazy changes to their own bodies, and they use experiments to create basically kaiju. Great, big, terrifying, magical kaiju. In the Guildmaster's Guide, they give you some good ideas for how to kind of approach what type of character you want to play. Our campaign is going to be set. Let me see if I've got everything set up from the Guildmaster's Guide here. Here we go. Let's bring us over to this map here, guys. Okay, so this is District 10. This is the only one that's actually covered in the book, but Ravnica is thought to cover, at the very least, an entire planet. This just happens to be closer to like the metropoles, closer to the part of the city that is most important and most influential. Our story will take place in... Am I on the right layer here? No, I'm not. In Precinct 6. And abutting Precinct 6, there is another district. And that is not important. But what our story is going to be about is basically a refurbishing of a particular neighborhood within Precinct 6. This is so you can kind of situate yourself for where Precinct 6 is. Let me bring you over to Precinct 6 itself. The things that are the most noteworthy here are, for one, Tin Street is a what do you call it? A promenade that runs the entire length of District 10. It runs all the way along. It's sort of the artery between many of the different districts or precincts within District 10. Common Fortress is the training facility for the Boros Legion, and at its foot is basically the squalor of warehouses and the smelting quarters, very low income housing. Lots of goblins make their home at the foot of Common Fortress, and one of the reasons why the poor make their way down here is because of Deadbridge Chasm, which is a massive rent in the earth that leads very, very deep down. It's things are regularly disposed of by being tossed down into Deadbridge Cavern, or Chasm. But unfortunately, some things come crawling out of it. The undead that are under the control of, or at least somehow related to the Golgori swarm, or perhaps just arising on their own, come crawling out and cause problems for people living in the neighborhoods in Precinct 6. Wayport is a place that connects to basically, it's like the clearing point for a bunch of other districts. One thing I'll say about Ravnica as well too, there are no firearms, but there is a great level of technology, of magical technology in this setting. There is, homes are often heated unless you're living in the most squalor. There's like magical elevators. The Izzet League, because of their involvement with infrastructure, they've implemented a bunch of their very inventive magical creations to sort of make this closer to a modern city than what we would see in a lot of other D&D settings. Unfortunately, the Izzet League, they usually think that like a good idea is better than a sound theory, or a sound proven theory. So that shit sometimes breaks down. What you guys are going to be part of, or your characters are, is an initiative to basically redevelop one neighborhood. There's one neighborhood that as sort of an exercise in the guild working together in a neighborhood near where the metropole is. You guys are going to be responsible for redeveloping it. This has been prompted in part by discussions among the members of the Guild Pact, and also by the discovery of huge underground structures. It seems that underneath Ravnica, like other planets, has seas and oceans and whatnot. They are just more often than not underground or far away from the metropole. What has been discovered is that there is a massive, you can call it a lake, but it's really an incredibly deep, flooded district. If you could picture taking like Loch Ness, turning it on its side and putting it down. So imagine something that goes, 15 miles down into Ravnica in a strange, sealed off area. So no one knows what is going to be down there. What they know is that there's, for all the people who are crammed in and on top of each other, there are secrets to be found down there. There's lots of living that's to be found down there. And the district that lives on top, it is, it's going to be a place that will serve as an example of all the guilds working together to serve as a model. Not every member of the guilds are in favor of this plan, so you guys can expect to find opposition from everyone who really is keen on trying to see, their rivals fail, or to see just themselves, whether that's the rivals in other guilds or rivals within the same guild. Before the campaign started, I gave the option for one player to be a member of a secret member of House Dimir, who is posing as another character, as a member of another guild. That has been claimed. But nobody knows, apart from that one player, who that is. So, we know that one person at least will be acting potentially against the interests of their stated guild, but we'll have to see. That doesn't mean that anyone can't play House Dimir. House Dimir keeps their cards very close to their chest. But that's it. I mean, the way we can, that's the as far as I've kind of got before, because I want to see what NPCs we come up with and what characters you come up with, and then we're going to tweak the idea for the campaign. First of all, does that sound good to everyone? We haven't talked about this yet.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Sorry, did thumbs up the wrong side, couldn't see it.
Nice. All right, so then, guys, the next thing to talk about is what do we want to... So the only thing you need for buy-in for your character is that your character is going to be working with this. Any one of the guilds can fit in this campaign. It just you need to come up with a justification for why your character is going to at least, on his face or her face or their face, go along with this plan. Is there any one of you who has your heart set on one specific race and guild combo, or are you guys open to hearing what everyone else is doing and then making your decision based on that? Hands up. Anyone got their heart set on anything yet? Okay. Okay, we got 3. All right. Mo, what is yours? What are you thinking?
I think I want to play an artificer, and I think human.
Yep. So remember
I did think about goblin because they've got those rather cool flamethrowers, but I think a human might be a bit less disruptive.
Okay, disruptive. This campaign is going to be a lot more intrigue, a lot more role playing, a lot more investigation and problem solving than what our say like our AD&D campaigns are. So disruptive is fine. Disruptive makes for a fun story. So just ask Steve. So you're thinking of,
is it?
Yep, is it League?
Guild.
Okay, Carl, how about you? Oh, you're muted, Carl.
I was leaning towards like I said, a Minotaur barbarian, and it looks like Gruul clan is probably the best fit.
Okay,
So a lot of options. Plus, so reclaiming the space is going to be, we need to reclaim or throw some nature in there, and so.
So I can tell you that there are one of the major adversaries. There is, let me see what the name of it is. I want to say Red Wastes. Mm-hmm. There is in the neighborhood that you guys are developing, which is just going to be kind of sandwiched right around here. There is a fairly large and sprawling Red Wastes near there. One of the clans of the Gruul is going to be one of your substantial enemies. They are not on board with this. And that will be an interesting tension. The Gruul themselves, one of the reasons why the Gruul don't just spill over everywhere is that they can't get along either. The clans all fight each other. People fight each other within the clans. When you believe that, you got to demonstrate your strength to show that you're the strongest. It leads to a lot of infighting. So the fact that you're going to be set at odds with these other,
as long as they're not the Etten led clan, because I thought that one seemed the coolest to me.
Okay.
Hopefully they're not the.
Let's see. No. I mean, I can. They actually are not. At least that's not the one I had in mind. Because there's.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one I was leaning towards. It seemed the most interesting.
Okay. So that one is the Gore clan. Well, the Gore clan is the one that carries out most frequent and savage assaults on Ravnica's citizenry. Is that the one you were thinking? It's known for its audacity in forging encampments close to it. So, like, it's fine coming from there, but like, your character, this campaign is gonna be about working together. So, like, a character who is, this could make for some really interesting role playing. But a character who is consistently going against that, he's just gonna get removed. So I'm fine with you being from that clan and having that approach. It's just that he wouldn't have been selected if all he was going to do is get, cut from the team, as it were. So I'll let you think about that. Ingolf, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so I was thinking about a bard. I think every group needs a bard. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because he's I think of him, and he would be a Loxodon bard.
Okay, nice.
And so there are 2 choices of guilds maybe. So it could be Selesnya, and then it would be someone who wants to see nature have its course there, and a little bit of I don't know, harmony there. Or it could be Azorius, and then it would be just we have to provide law and order to this.
Well, that could be and I mean that character could be an interesting if he's with. I'm fine any way with it too, but and like an Azorius one, the law-abiding Azorius might be an interesting counterpoint to Carl's Gruul Minotaur as well. Yeah. What do you think? Are you leaning towards one or the other? Does one guild sound better, or you want to hear what Jeff's got in mind and then make a call?
Maybe that's best, and then we see the whole picture.
Sure. Jeff, what are you thinking?
So I haven't picked a guild yet, but I'm leaning towards Goblin Warlock.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. We could pick a guild, I guess, that would sort of fit the story and fit the area based on those facts.
So warlocks. I mean, the I mean, the one that is most obviously with the demon, if you're thinking more of like the traditional, like I've aligned myself with dark powers kind of warlock, is the Rakdos.
Yeah,
But,
totally. That's
but I mean, like there are other things you could, he could have connections with the Simic, what is it, Simic League? Simic Combine. Because there is, ancient, the things that they're creating, some of those have that vaguely, Lovecraftian kind of
exactly.
feel to
Sort of
them.
like a...
It could be a nature pact as well, too, with the Salsnaya Conclave. It could be an angel with the Boros Legion. Like, one of the neat things with the guilds is that you're not, they're equal opportunity for everybody. Like, you can find Minotaurs in the Boros Legion, you can find Minotaurs in the Gruul clans, you can find Minotaurs in the Salsnaya Conclave. Same thing with Loxodons or, any of the more unusual things. What sort of pact do you see this character having? Could also be Dimir, could also be God,
like it can
Orzhov.
kind of go any direction.
If it was if it's a undead spirit kind of thing, Orzhov Syndicate. I mean, like, they are literally of the different guilds. They're the ones that are the most about contracts and binding contracts past death.
Totally. I mean, I kind of like Orzhov. It would be neat to see Orzhov represented.
Orzhov is my favorite because it's it's definitely undead and intrigue and whatnot. Yeah,
when it comes to the actual game of Magic, Simic is probably my favorite. But as far as the gameplay would go, I think that Orzhov's a more interesting direction.
Yeah.
Especially for someone who would be more invested or sent by his guild to be involved in this project.
Well, and the pact you decide on too will be interesting because Orzhov uses white and black magic or mana.
Yeah.
Right. So like the what's the divine one? Divine Soul. Is that the warlock pact that gets like healing and shit too? I'm not saying that's what you want to do with your character, but like Orzhov, it would make thematic sense within the context of the Syndicate for you to have a lot of flexibility in what mechanically, what pact you want to go with. What, sweetie? Yeah, my God. Hilarious. Thunder all morning today, like lightning and thunder crashes. Sleeps right through it. God forbid someone opens the door next door. Jesus. So does that help Ingolf with your decision making?
Yeah, I think then maybe it would be. I think Azorius would be more interesting, really. Or
okay.
I mean,
excellent. And I mean, it makes sense that Azorius and Orzhov would be two of the ones that are that are directing sort of what's going on here. The like redistricting and legislation and whatnot would be part of Azorius's role, and Orzhov would be bankrolling this shit. They'd be the one that would be like loaning the Guild Pact money to help develop things and whatnot. Carl, having heard what your allies are going to be adventuring, like, what are you thinking of your Minotaur Barbarian?
I'm still thinking Gruul, but I'll probably just do Burning Tree.
Burning Tree,
the most diverse and probably the ones that who were assigned or tasked to do this.
Okay. And I mean, like one of the things that's going to be interesting with this is seeing how your characters interact with other. I haven't put together the house rule document yet, but I'm going to put that together for you guys so you know which ones we're using. But we're going to use Astonishing Fortune in this, like we do in all our other D&D games. We're going to be using the contacts and the reputation stuff out of Guildmaster's Guide. So you are Gruul and is it? All right. Okay, guys. So I guess the next thing we can do is we can put stats to our characters here. And then we can start figuring out. Now, are each of you just sticking to your core class for the 5 levels, or do you guys want a multi-class? I'm fine either way.
Stick.
I'm sticking.
You should be able to drag and drop everything from the compendium for creating your characters as well, too. As long as your character sheet is not popped out into a separate window, I made it so that you've got access to Eberron, access to Ravnica, access to the core rulebook, Sword Coast Guide, Volos, and I think I snagged Tasha's on the weekend. So you guys have access to everything. You just need to be careful to select. Some of them will display as like your, what do you call it? Your, as a, like a thing to read as opposed to a thing to drag and drop. Okay.
Okay, so you said we were going to start with our stats?
Yeah, so let's stat generation. We'll use the assigned. We're not going to roll for this one. We'll use standard set. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. I'm on page 13 of the PHP. I can put that in chat if it's easier rather than digging out your books, guys.
Oh,
There we go. Okay.
That was the array, the 15, 14, 13,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
You guys will also be starting with 1 free feat as well.
So, are we using the variant human or straight human?
Variant human.
All right.
Yeah, so you guys can select a feat. It's going to be subject to my approval for it, just because some feats are cheese. But I am otherwise going to be interested to see what you pick. Each of the races should be listed in there as well, too. And they should populate, if you drag and drop in, it should populate your character sheet properly.
Yeah.
I don't know if it gives the stat modifiers, though. That you may need to add in
It
separately.
looks like it doesn't. It looks like it doesn't.
Okay, yeah, so that needs to be added in, and then you also, I think, need to add your... Oh, no, maybe the saves do come in from your class.
Yeah, the saves come in. If you put I put barbarian, it gave me strength con.
Okay, great. Great. All
Good,
right.
it added the...
Okay, here's a burning tree for you. All right. I got to dig out the illustration. My son played a Loxodon wizard in the short Ravnica game we played. And I did an illustration of his character, too. He was part of the Is It League, though. Okay.
okay.
All right.
So you're saying if we like go to race,
Yeah, if you go to the races category,
so there's 3 different goblins listed.
the
The one called Just Goblin.
yeah, just Goblin. That's from the GGR or TR Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. If you drag,
Oh, I see that. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
So you're saying if I just click right on the top level and drag it on, it does something, or do I have to go to each part?
So if you go, if you just click on it and hold down your left button on the goblin, and just drag it over and then drop it on your character sheet, anywhere in your character sheet, it should populate with the correct information.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. The Roll20 Compendium is quite handy. The only thing it doesn't do is give you your stat modifier, so you do need to check that and make your stat modifications.
And get a name.
And get a name, indeed. Let's see here.
Yeah, that's the most complicated thing. Okay.
Oh, which one's complicated?
The one with the name. Yeah, coming up with a good name.
Oh, yeah. Totally. I think
Yeah,
there's
no, there's some. Yeah,
there's some suggested names in for.
Yeah, there are some, like a suggestion.
So your Loxodon names. A Loxodon's name includes subtle tones produced in a Loxodon's resonant nasal chamber that indicate status, family connection, and community role. Since most non-Loxodons can't distinguish these underlying tones, let alone pronounce them, Loxodons often translate them into titles, such as Hierarch, Revered, Grandmother, Healer, or Saint, when interacting with other races. That's cool.
Okay. So.
All right. So, let's see here. Bring you guys back to, let's see. go. Oh, we got somebody named already. 2 named already. Nice. Now, what backgrounds are you guys thinking of for your characters? We're going to use backgrounds in this game.
I should look that up.
Backgrounds from any source are fine by me, as long as they make sense within your context of your character. I mean, the low-hanging fruit is the guild contact ones if you want, but you can feel free to... It's not going to affect your status within the guild to have a different background. One easy thing in here is the the currency. There is 2 currencies that are in play in here. It is, where is it here? Zibs and Xenos. Xenos are the equivalent of 1 gold coin. Zibs are equal to copper. Everything else is just referred to as like a 5 Zib coin or a 5 Xeno coin. And I know you guys are thinking it's early morning, at least in North America, or relatively early. What's the cup of coffee worth in Ravnica? Got you covered, guys. It's 10 Zibs. Languages are on page 9 of the... Oh, actually, your page 9 are in the compendium. Okay.
Yeah. I think actually I would go with the Azorius functionary as a background.
Nice.
So I will be a city, I don't know, some kind of official.
Okay, love it.
Okay, so backgrounds.
Yeah, nice. Azorius functionary. And of course, one of you guys is lying about the background, but... we'll leave it to you guys to figure out who's lying here. And one of the neat things with the guilds as well, too, is if you're a spellcaster, your access to spells are affected by if you're a connected with the guild through your background. Is that the case, or is it that you're only... Let's see here.
Yep. Yeah, so there are guild spells and yeah.
Okay, so you don't need to be have the background. At least the way I read it, you don't need the background in order to access those spells. You just need to be a member of the guild. Oh no, you actually do need to. You establish your character's membership in a guild by choosing that guild's background from among those detailed in this chapter. That is a bit restrictive. That does limit the backgrounds to, you know, to the specific guilds then. Is anyone... Go ahead, Jeff.
So I could be an Orzhov representative as my background?
Yep, absolutely.
Was there a place for background on the sheet?
It is. So on the character sheet, well, you were Trovic.
It's in bio. You have core and then bio.
Click on
the
the
bio.
no, under core, and then click on the cog on the top right. That'll open up in.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
I got it. All right, it's in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can in that. Yeah.
Okay. So interesting. Carl's character is not formally connected with the guild, so there may be an interesting reason for why he's been sent here. Then.
Well, it looks like that Gruul background is like for spellcasters. That's what's odd. But...
Yeah, a lot of them. So I think what I'll say is like you're still going to be a member of the guild. Then you're not a spellcaster, so you're just not going to have access. You don't need to worry about those extras. You're not playing like one of the spirit talker barbarians or whatever. No,
it's a berserker.
Okay.
Now, is it best to just drag the class levels on one at a time?
You should be able to adjust them for when you set your character level.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I haven't dragged Warlock over yet.
Okay.
I just set it at level 5.
Okay, yeah. And then it under the... Yeah, if you drag... Did you set it to Warlock, or...
Yeah, but I didn't... I picked it from the drop-down,
yeah.
But like I said, I didn't drag one on yet. I'm wondering if it does it when you...
It should, yeah, and then it should populate your spells properly here. For some reason, you've got 2 in your 3rd level spells. Well, maybe that's because of your bonus for your attribute.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
Yeah, so it's already doing that. Yeah, if you drag and drop Warlock in there, it should work. Okay. So we're going to do contacts all together, guys, because that'll be... I need to be recording all that stuff down for the purpose of the game. If you want to roll your random other stuff for your background or just select it, that's fine.
So I dropped Warlock on there, didn't do anything that I can see.
Let's see here.
That was interesting.
Kabobo.
Maybe I have to choose my stuff manually.
Let's see. Classes. Here we go.
Because I would have thought it would add, like, otherworldly patron and pack magic and stuff to my features.
Could be... Hold on here. Let me try something.
I think these sheets might have a...
there you go. The problem was you had selected Warlock before.
Yeah.
So I took it off, turned it on, but now, I mean, your spells aren't displaying... Oh, but you're a Warlock, though. Right, your spell slots will be different.
Yeah.
So hold on. Let's see here. I'm going to the cog. Let's see here. Class options, Warlock.
I'm wondering if I have to pick my my patron.
You will need to.
Like, for it to start choosing the stuff, I don't know.
Okay,
as far as the drop goes. Okay, you were saying there was a healing option? What was that? That was in a particular patron?
Yeah, the I think it's the Divine Soul out of maybe Xanthar's.
Oh, okay.
There's a build that actually, like, you gain access to divine spells.
Because, I mean, it wouldn't hurt if we had some healing.
We got a bard.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The bard will have some healing, too.
Yeah. Okay, so that's set right. I'm just going to try one more thing here, Jeff. Let me see if I can...
Yeah,
there is a tool, this character mancer, who allows you to level up. But then it has some kind of automation. I don't know if you want that.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I think they have like a... Yeah, exactly. Like a thing that walks you through each level.
It does. And I think that I've seen problems with for some reason, the stuff that's from the core rulebook. I've purchased the frickin' player's handbook. But the classes from the other things they display properly. But when I'm trying to cut and paste some of the core classes, like Warlock, I don't think is in the free content that you get.
Yeah.
And for some reason that continually fucks up. It could be something I'm doing wrong here, but let me see about subclasses. Yeah. So what you may need to do, Jeff, is, and I may be doing this wrong here, but you may need to cut and paste your different Warlock powers into there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to just try this thing.
Like, some things are setting up correctly right now. Do Warlocks only have 2 spells? Oh, right, because in 5th edition, you don't get bonus spells from high stats. Yeah, this actually might be displaying correctly then, because the Warlocks have that fixed amount, right? They only have a couple of slots. 5th level... Yeah, you only have 2 spell slots, so it's displaying correctly. things that you need to learn 6 spells. You need to learn 3 cantrips and 3 invocations. So it is actually displaying correctly. It's just that warlocks don't have the full suite of abilities that some of the others do.
Yeah. Okay.
So we get a feat and the ability score improvement at 4th level?
You get a feat at 1st level, and then you can choose whether you take another feat or whether you take their things. But it is, again, subject to approval, so you got to let me know what one you want to take.
Probably the one that's power attack.
The
equivalent of power attack. I can't remember the name.
Yep, that is...
Or, I mean, I have a wrestling background, so if there's like an unarmored or an unarmed type of thing, I'll look.
Yeah, I mean, either of those I'm fine with. Those all make sense with your character. Make sure that your characters as well, too, when you're building them, you have things to do in non-fighting scenes, because otherwise you will be very bored during those scenes.
Well, he likes to trade Bander jibes.
Yeah, love it. That's great.
And he can be like the bad cop as opposed to someone's good cop, so...
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you guys need it's worked out quite nicely, because you've got, the planning, the money, the infrastructure, and the muscle.
Yep.
For you guys. So it does make sense. And having someone as a member from from Gruul is going to be great, because like I said, I mean, that's one of the adversaries. It's also not quite known yet. Where they're trying to stabilize this neighborhood on top, while also sending people down below to figure out what the hell's going on down there. But there are certain guilds that are definitely in things that lurking in dark places and in a lot of water. The Simic enjoy that. The Golgori enjoy that. Who knows what the Dimir or the Orzhov may be hiding down there. Or it could be things that are unrelated. Even though the 10 guilds kind of run all the aspects of life in Ravnica, there still is other factions. There's nobility, there's whatnot. When the guilds fell out of favor, there was a brief period where the aristocracy and the rich in Ravnica seized control. It didn't last, but there was a time when, without the magical backing of the guild pact, the guilds actually fell out of favor. So there may be some who remember that time and are eager to get back to it. Okay. Looks like we got... Right. Everyone's got a name now. That's great. I'm going to add a... There we go. And I'll just put our non-player characters I'll put outside of this thing here. Kabobo going in there. Trovic going in there. Yago going in there. And Vasul going in there. Nice. All right. How about you, Mo? How's your character coming together?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not sure how we put in the other stuff from the levels. Spelled right.
You can just... I've been just looking it up and then dragging it over.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
In some cases, you may need to copy it in yourself, but it should all copy in.
Frenzy didn't copy over, which is odd. But...
No, it's like I said, some of those ones, Barbarian isn't in the initial pack as well. Artificer, for the most part, copies over perfectly well, but the ones that aren't part of the free version of D&D, those seem to be a problem in here, and I don't know why that's the case.
Oh, that went in. Okay.
All the spells do cut and paste quite well, though. So
yeah.
We got what, two?
That's the important.
3 casters, and then okay. So Carl's going full on berserker with Trovic. Maybe if you guys could change your names, your display names as well too, to fit the way Jeff did. That'd be great, so I can keep track of who's who here. Oh, and change the color of your display to your faction as well too. Carl will be red.
Red? Is it? I thought it was green. It's red. Okay.
They're green and red mana is the two, but all their cards, all the predominant color in their cards is all red. Ingolf, yours would be blue or light blue or white of some kind. Kabobo will be white or black depending on where you are, and it would be red or blue for you, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a darker blue with Mo and a lighter blue with Ingolf would fit.
Okay, so my options.
Not letting me drag and drop infuse item.
You may need to, again, like depending on what where it's coming from, you may need to open it up, copy the text and paste it into your what the powers on your own. You can add powers at the bottom of that column, just like other Roll20 character sheets.
So how are you doing hit points? Are we rolling, or are we just doing
no
7?
set? Yeah, just we'll use the 5e set amount.
Okay.
Oh, like so it's set at the first level, but then you roll it, or what?
No.
It's like max plus con at first level, and then there's a number.
Yeah, so like warlocks get 5 per level.
Yeah, so like barbarians get 7 plus con.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I got it.
So
Yeah,
9 times 4. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. So I get 8.
That's pretty even.
I get 10 at first level,
Okay.
and then 7 at each level.
Oh, Mo, you will want to change your display color as well to a darker blue. Mo, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just cut and pasted everything. Sorry.
Mo, that's not what I asked. Mo, if you can just change your display color to being a darker blue, and then change your name too, please, to be your character's name. Up here, where you're... Yeah, there you go. Thank you. All right, how is everyone coming together with their characters? Now, in terms of gear, I'm not fussed with you taking whatever you need right now, and then we'll talk about what magic items you'll be starting with afterwards.
Right. Okay. So Kev, my options are the Archfey, the Celestial, the Fathomless, the Fiend, or the Genie. Is that correct?
This is in which...
For my Otherworldly Patron.
Otherworldly Patron, okay. Are you
Or
getting...
the Undying? I'm just reading them off of the compendium thing on this tool.
Yeah, like you... I'm fine with, like, whichever one... With the Orzhov,
Yeah, like I'm happy taking whichever one we think makes the most sense for Orzhov.
So Orzhov is Undeath.
Yeah,
Is obviously like a big part of Orzhov's. Yeah, so they from the core rulebook, or at least from the player's handbook, they say like Great Old One is the one that would be with anybody. But I mean, the Celestial one, I can see that fitting as well. We'll just reflavor it to be, if you want to play. I just threw that idea out just because I knew they have access to white mana, but they've also got access to black mana.
yeah.
What's the one on the Tasha's? Where is it? I'm trying to find all those. There we go. Because I thought there was an interesting one in Tasha's as well. Warlock. There we go. Or maybe it was that Eldritch Blade one. Just... Yeah, Fathomless probably doesn't fit. Genie probably doesn't fit.
No.
So it's probably either... You know, it's probably either the Great Old One or the Celestial. What else is out of...
Like, I mean, there are quite a few angels connected with the Orzhov Guild.
There are, yeah,
That's
you're
cool.
absolutely right.
So it could, I think, I could see it being Celestial.
Sure.
That's cool.
I think it's kind of nice having some healing in the party. Not to metagame too much, but I mean, it is a nice thing to have.
I am also a notorious son of a bitch when it comes to combat encounters, so... you know.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, because your first level feature is kind of cool. So you get something called Healing Light. At first level, you gain the ability to channel celestial energy to heal wounds. So you have a pool of d6s that you can spend to fuel this healing. The number of dice in the pool equals 1 plus your warlock level.
Mm-hmm.
As a bonus action, you can heal one creature you can see within 60 feet of you, spending dice from the pool. The maximum number of dice you can spend at once equals your charisma modifier.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's a neat. I mean, and healers are pretty fun in 5th edition. You know, so the limited amount of combat we've had in our like 4th, 5th level games, it's definitely been close to that 4th edition kind of like up and down, where like healers really do have an important role to play.
Okay, there. I see, that's kind of what I was wondering if it was going to do. When you drag the Celestial on there, then it did more things.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And so where is everyone in their character creation stage right now? Has everyone selected their background? Yes.
Yeah.
I know Trovic has, Vasul has, Kabobo. Mo, how is Yago coming together?
Yeah, I'm taking the engineer background.
Nice. Okay.
I'm just trying to find out where I changed my damn color though.
So if you just go up, Mo, you should be able to just click on your avatar. If you click on where the color is, it should give you an option of other colors, but it may be above you. You may need to move your... There you go. Can you see it now?
I can't see my character at all.
Not your character, Mo, your avatar. Look where your camera...
I can't see. I don't have a box with me in it. I've only got the 4 of you on there.
Then that is a problem on your end. You need to maybe hit refresh. And we'll cross fingers that all the cameras come up again. There we go. Do you see yourself now, Mo?
No. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Mo. I'm sorry I can't help you with that. All right, so are we to the point where everyone has their... I guess we got some spellcasters selecting some spells right now. We have some warriors selecting their gear. All that gear should be drag and drop as well. It should populate properly and display in your attacks as well as your gear, and it should calculate weight for you as well. Encumbrance isn't really going to be an issue in here, but, old habits. Interesting question. So, Pilar, Ravnica is actually part of the... question was is Ravnica a prime material world or part of the Outer Planes? Ravnica doesn't exist in the same cosmology as D&D. It's part of the Magic the Gathering setting. So, Ravnica, Theros, those are the 2 books that have come out, but they've also released online PDFs for some of their other planes, like Innistrad and Ixalan. I don't think Dominaria has one. Zendikar has one. I think that's it. But it occupies a completely different cosmology than what the traditional D&D setting does. So there's no Great Wheel. There's no, what do you call it? The one that was introduced in 3rd edition and for Forgotten Realms. It does not have any connection with any of the D&D settings whatsoever. Magic works very differently in the entire multiverse of the Magic the Gathering setting. The characters, if you've played Magic before, you may know that your character, technically what you're playing is a planeswalker. You're embodying a very powerful spellcaster who can draw magical spells and different, summon copies of creatures across the planes using one of the 5 different colors of magic. And this is one of those settings. There is one more. It's... what is it called? It's the Arabian Nights flavored kind of place with the weird biotech, or what do you call it? Not biotech, steampunk stuff. So this doesn't occupy an outer world, outer planes or the prime material. It's a completely different thing. Planes are just different places, and they can be, sprawling universes into themselves. They can be a pocket dimension. They can be, more powerful planeswalkers can actually create things. If you think of it in terms of D&D, like the something similar to Ravenloft, where there's different domains within it, at least classic Ravenloft, but unlike the domains in Ravenloft, in Magic, planeswalkers can create different planes, but planes also can exist on their own. So it is a very different setup. I hope that answers your question. Oh yeah, great. Yeah.
Hey Kevin.
Yeah.
So like as an athlete, it gives me a vehicle as a tool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, when I initially rolled that 5 for the first thing on the athlete was actually chariot, but I didn't think that would make sense. But
totally would.
Just wrestling, but I could make it chariot.
No, the red wastes
to be a chariot racer.
Like the red wastes are, like I said, are huge. Like the Ravnica takes it. It has the reason I mentioned Star Wars earlier is because the way that Star Wars embraces crazy scale for things. That's kind of what Ravnica's like. You're not going to have a red waste that's like, it's a couple of bad, neighborhoods. It's the size of a small town that's, completely leveled. And that is, maybe several miles worth of derelict buildings that over the 10,000 years since the Guild Pact has never been rebuilt or was rebuilt and then destroyed at some point. And in the red wastes, there's plenty of stuff. So depending, if what you're seeing is like, maybe if you are an athlete, there could be beyond just fighting. You may be a champion of some kind for
like decathlon or something.
Yeah, between the clans, the Gruul equivalent of like caber tossing, or
Well, I have as my trappings, I have or part of the athlete gear is like a bronze discus, a past trophy, so stuff like that.
That stuff is more Theros oriented, so you can feel free to like tweak that a little bit to fit the way you see it.
Yeah,
but I'm fine. Like I love the idea because it's an interesting. It gives me some interesting things to work with for why they would have sent, instead of someone like specifically involved with, say, like the Gruul clans have a prophecy among them that there's this like demonic boar that's supposed to arise and devastate Ravnica. Some of the clans are more oriented towards that, and others just want to, like the Etten-headed one, they just want to burn the world. In this case, it might be, a non-political athlete. There may be an interesting reason for why they threw you in here. Perfect, you got it, Mo.
Well, that echoes of victory. It might give you some inspiration. Because, like, if he's an athlete, then he might be recognized, right? So that's echoes of victory.
Totally. You can also decide to embrace as much as you want. The Gruul clans embrace scarification quite a bit. So if you want to have any kind of like markings or shit on your fur or your horns or whatever, you can feel free to embrace that stuff. What kind of spells are we leaning towards, guys? Like, I mean, Vessel, I'm not sure if you guys want to metagame to this level, but I mean, in terms of what spells, because I think, aren't bards are spontaneous casters in 5e, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you guys want to, both of you guys will be spontaneous casters. Actually, and Iago will as well. You got 3 potential support characters because the artificers can have access to things as well. What college did you go with, Ingolf?
College of Law.
Nice. This is all my
not law. So with an O-R-E.
Oh, lore. Okay.
Lore. Yeah. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, it's okay. My brother-in-law.
College of Law as well. I don't know.
My brother-in-law was from just outside of Manchester, and when he said the word pawn shop, like I'm going to go and pawn my things, and porn shop, it sounded identical. So we used to have a lot of fun with that. Now, so Iago and Vasul and Kobobo, do you guys want to talk about your spells, or do you just want to select them and see what happens in play? 5th edition does allow you to change shit as you gain levels too. So
I just have another question before, and that one would be, I can get a double proficiency bonus on performance, but how do I do that?
You go to the cog on the far right, and then you scroll down, and you can change the nature of the bonus you get. And then you can put it to being
expertise.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Like once they're set up, these character sheets are really good. We've run a couple of one shots with the characters with these things, and it's nice how light on their feet the things are. Iago, what about you? What specialty did you go with, or subclass?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm going with the alchemist. To fit
the alchemist, interesting.
Character.
Okay.
He's very much the I wouldn't say mad scientist, but I am saying mad scientist.
Okay.
So in terms of spells, I think I get healing as well.
Yeah, well, you can gain access to it. Like, you do select your spells. I think artificers prep their spells every day. They're like clerics, if I remember correctly. I had to grab my Eberron book. Oh, the artificer was duplicated in Tasha's, wasn't it?
Kevin, I think I might go with something more flavorful as a feat and go with Grappler.
Nice, awesome, love it. I think
he's going to put out enough damage
okay,
already with his great axe and extra attack, and then his horns is a bonus action. And frenzy. Yeah, it's
nice.
Right.
So the other thing, guys, is remember that you do get at 4th level. You will have hit 4th level, so you'll get a chance to either raise 2 stats or to select another feat on top of that. So your choice.
I think
Oh wait, sorry, what was that? Oh, for the feat, yeah, we can either increase the stat or gain another feat.
Correct. You get a free feat at 1st level, just because I like doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the alchemists automatically get healing word and ray of sickness. As always prepared spells. So that's interesting. And the way that the character sheet works for spellcasters as well, for determining, like, you can drag and drop whatever spells you like in there, and then what you can do is tick next to it which ones you've actually got prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you say an extra ability score, this is 1 point or 2?
I think it's +1 to 2 stats or +2 to 1 stat. Yeah, in place of... That's what you get at 4th level, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, 4th level.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so like Vasul and Kobobo won't have to worry about selecting prep spells, but Mo, you're going to want to kind of like cut and paste the spells that you want to have. Mo, are you there? Mm-hmm. You're going to want to... you just listen to this, please. You're going to want to cut and paste your all the spells that you always have prepared into your spell list, and then kind of like you can drag and drop some of the ones that you would most commonly use, because at the start of each day there should be a little black dot next to it. You can just use that to determine which ones you prep. Remember, in 5th edition, it works differently than... You don't have... The prepared spells is separate from the spells you have access to. So you have your spell slots... but your prepared spells is determined by your level and your stat modifier. And that's taken from the complete list of spells that you have access to. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So how does Warlock actually work, Kevin? I've never played one. Is it like a sorcerer, kind of?
No, so Warlock has... they're very limited in the spell slots they have, because you only have, I think, 2 at your level, but you recover them on a short rest.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're not... They're always assumed to be kind of maximized. You're going to cast whatever spells are at your maximum level. You'll have to be careful when you're selecting your spells to track like how many 1st level spells you can have access to, how many 2nd level, because you couldn't select a 2nd level spell as your 1st level spell.
Okay.
Yeah, so like what you could select here, let me make this easy for you. At 5th level, the things you're going to rely on are like your invocations, which are like secret tricks that warlocks gain access to that are kind of like, sometimes daily, sometimes short rest spells.
Yeah.
And then your cantrips. Eldritch Blast obviously is a very popular one with warlocks, and it's because then they've got their good, decent range damaging spell, and you can focus your other spells on more interesting things.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking of leaning, is making him an Eldritch Blast character.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that works.
So I add that to my cantrip then?
Yes, you can drag and drop Eldritch Blast from the spells, and it should populate in your cantrips. And then you can select 2 more cantrips that you know. And then I'll put in chat, Jeff, what sort of what your breakdown of spells can be.
Okay, that would help. Yeah.
Okay.
So how many? Oh, you're gonna write that down.
Yeah.
I think this will work.
There you go. And then it'll also populate in your in the attack portion.
There we go.
Oy. Okay.
So now do I have Eldritch Blast there? I do. Cool. So then, because then I can take, so for example, Agonizing Blast.
Yep.
So if I add a feature,
and then Agonizing Blast, and then
drag it in there.
You might be able to. If not, you just add Agonizing Blast in, and then you go in and tweak your the spell. You can modify any of the drag and dropped spell effects as well. Because that's one that adds in your charisma as a damage. Is that right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we go into your spells, we click on the, let's see, your information thing for Eldritch Blast, and then we click on the cog. We can now modify the damage to, let's see here, to tick, see where it says add ability mod to damage or healing?
Oh, yeah.
Tick that.
Cool. Oh, yeah, oops.
Yep,
All
then
right,
hit the
nice.
cog, close it, and then hit the I to close the information. Boom, and you're good to go. Click on Eldritch Blast, it should work for you now. There you go. Your charisma modifier is +2?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to change my charisma with my ability score increase.
Okay, got it.
Which I'm going to do right now.
Nice.
Maybe we could just a little bit talk about the spells. So I could take Cure Wounds if this is necessary. I mean...
So Iago has access to Healing Touch. Because he's an alchemist, it's an automatic one he always has access to. Kabobo, what did you... If you went with Divine Soul, isn't that one of the ones that is on your list?
Yeah, I can do healing. Is that what you're asking? If I can memorize healing? Or learn healing?
Yeah, the question is, do you want to learn healing as a spell? I mean, I could do that, or you could do it, but I think someone should. I mean, that's the whole thing.
I have Healing Word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? The way your expanded list works, Jeff. If you've got, I'm not sure you got a copy of either Xanthar's Guide on or near you, or you've got access to the thing. In addition to the spells that are listed in like the PHB and the other things for your warlock spells, you can also gain the ones that are from the expanded list. So, as a Celestial Patron, you can also gain access to Cure Wounds or Guiding Bolt as first-level spells for one of the ones you know. You can also gain, at level 2, Flaming Sphere or Lesser Restoration, and level 3, Daylight or Revivify. So, in addition to the ones that are listed on your the Warlock list, these are other ones that you could gain access to.
Right. I also gained some from my Orzhov background.
Yes, well, those also are unlocked. So that is absolutely correct.
Now I have a natural healing ability called Healing Light.
Yes.
So I don't know that I necessarily need to add more healing than that. I could,
if
you guys want. But,
so. Vesul, I can tell you that Vesul and Iago are they're going to regularly and more dependably have access to more healing spells than you will, because warlocks are limited at this level to 2 spells. You will be limited in that way. So, having a little bit to be able to crack out is maybe a good thing. And we can see when you overplay, too. You guys can change your spells as you gain levels, too. So
I have 3. Okay, hold on. 3 first. Oops. Three first spells, 2 second, and 1 third.
Mm-hmm.
And how many cantrips?
You have 3, in addition to the ones that are free. Like you got.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I got the free, right. So for example, though, the Orzhov ones, those just give me access to them. They give me them. They
act as if they're on your warlock list, and you can choose them if you like to, but you don't get them for free. Not the way, like your 2 cantrips that you got from your Celestial feature, those are ones you get for free.
Right, Light and Sacred Flame I got. I chose Eldritch Blast, so I can choose 2 more.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
So I'm going to be full bars on this. So I'm taking Thunderclap and Thunder Wave.
Nice. Is it going to be trumpeting through your trunk?
Yeah, maybe, or just stomping my foot or something like that.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. Oh, man. All right, so we're still selecting spells. Carl, how's your guy coming along? Oh, you're muted.
I think I'm done, actually, but...
Nice. Okay, so we'll just...
I got some equipment that, came with his starting equipment, so I don't know if we get at 5th level what we'll have.
Yeah, you guys, you can take... I'm fine with you taking what you need for it. We're going to talk about magic items afterwards. Okay. But,
all right.
Yeah,
so I'll just hold off until that...
Yeah,
I think I got... basically I took the starting equipment because he doesn't really need much.
Yep. Holy, he's got a big bucket of hit points. That's great.
Yep.
So what you could
maybe... and then when he's raging, except against magical attacks, right? They're resistant to piercing, bludgeoning, slashing.
Yeah.
When he's raging.
I think
barbarians are pretty resilient.
Yeah, Arlen played one in it was Colin. Colin played one in one of our Eberron ones, and they're pretty freaking tough.
Yep.
Okay. I have set up the character sheet so they're always rolling advantage as well too, so we don't need to worry about making one change. So many of the other versions of D&D we play with, we end up having to put so many freaking modifiers and shit like that into the character sheets to get a dice result. It's gonna be kind of nice having it always there. What we'll assume...
advantage or disadvantage or whatever.
Exactly. If you're rolling with advantage or disadvantage, so if you're rolling with nothing, it will just count as the one on the left is the number you rolled. If you are rolling advantage or disadvantage, take the better or the worst of either of them, just with whatever's rolled.
Yep.
That way it's one less click that we need to go through. Because I'm fed up with those in our other character sheets. Nice. Good attack.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
Okay. Good. All right, so how close are we to having everything selected, fellers?
Close. I'm at level 2 spells. It won't take so long.
Okay,
yeah, my character sheet won't open anymore, so...
Your character sheet won't open anymore. Okay, it's opening for me?
Yeah, Roll20 screwing up.
Okay, so I'm able to get into your character sheet here, Mo.
Yeah, I think my Chrome's just screwed up, so I don't know whether I want to risk logging in and out of Roll20.
If it's not working, it can't get much worse than that, right? So...
Okay, I will...
Close your browser, and then, come back in. And we'll see whether that fixes the problem. All right.
It's my rather elderly PC. Sometimes
that's okay. once we're through, populating all your character sheets with this stuff, it should be less labor or less of a chore for your PC.
Yeah. Also for healing, I can make stuff as an alchemist. So, you get a random choice, so you sometimes get healing.
Okay. Alrighty. So, okay, I see you back in the game, Mo.
Oh, it's a bit better. No, we have had it sometimes in some other games. Sometimes it will just stop responding for 20 minutes.
Well, the thing is, everyone else's is responding, so it's not a problem with Roll20, I don't think.
Yeah, I think it might be the fact that I'm in.
But let's see.
I imagine Roll20 servers are in the US.
Are you able to?
It's opening.
Fantastic. Okay. So now,
spells.
Let's see here. Whoa.
I'm going to have.
So cantrips are the one thing that is different from... You either know the cantrips or you don't know the cantrips for Artificer. So you will need to pick those. You will have access to 2 cantrips. And then your spells...
I have my guild ones as well.
You don't automatically get those. Those are added to the list, like we were talking about with everyone else. Those are added to the list of things you can select. So it doesn't mean if it says that it is bonus, then it is something that's added on top of what you get to select. Otherwise, it just means that you have access to those in addition to what you have otherwise selected, like your class would otherwise have access to.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so I think I'm almost there.
Okay, great. I think they made another modification to these sheets where you can hide the spell. It doesn't automatically display the spell description, and that's great. So like if you know the spell backwards and forwards, you don't need to see the full text each time. But if you want to see the spell description, you can click on it and it'll populate. So that's terrific. I like that a lot. All right. So
there are spells, yes.
Okay, so you got your 2 cantrips. So then again, Mo, you're not going to... The spells that you put, the other spells you put down in your character sheet there, they don't necessarily need to, this isn't necessarily what you have prepared. It's just for ease of reference and to avoid you having to constantly drag and drop new spells each day. You just put down the ones that you would typically want to use. And then when you select which ones you prepare per day, just put there's that little black circle next to them. Just tick those as your prepared ones, and the Artificer prepares intelligence plus half your Artificer level. Oh, so they're like Rangers or Paladins. Limited selection of spells. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. So yeah, intelligence modifier plus half your Artificer level rounded down. So we 2 plus your Artificer level. So that's how many spells you can prep per day.
Right.
And you select that from all the different... I guess you only have access to first or second level spells. Yeah, so Vasul, you may actually be the one with the access. You and Kabobo are the ones with the access to the highest level spells.
Yeah, 3rd level. Yeah. But I concentrated totally on counter magic at 3rd level.
Nice. Not a bad with the amount of magic wielding rival guilds. That's not necessarily a bad idea. Okay, so how is I know Mo? It doesn't look like you've got all your character traits down either, right?
No.
Okay, so you're going to need to fill that in. We don't need that right now, but you'll just need to fill that stuff in between now and when we have our next session 2 weeks from now. Let's maybe get your spell selections in. Then let's take our mid-session break, guys. Vasul and Kabobo, do you guys have selected your spells?
I'm close.
Yes.
Yeah.
Close? Okay, so, and then Ingolf, is there anything else you need to select apart from your, like, gear?
Yeah, gear, and then we have to fill in the rest as group, the personality and ideals and stuff.
Yeah, and contacts as well, too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make my little rubric here for you guys so I don't... Trovic. Vasul. And Kabobo. I do appreciate you guys also selecting names that don't ever sound alike. That has been a recurring theme in enough games of mine where two characters sound very, very close to each other. So.
Oops.
So you have 6. That's pretty great. At Healing Light?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then, Mo, did you select your feat and your advancement at level 4 for your character?
Yeah, I took my intelligence to 18. I'm just sorting the feet out now.
Okay. All right, so guys, let's do this. Let's take our mid-session break now, and then we'll come back and finish up with whatever last-minute things need to be done, and then we will see what contacts you guys have made over the course of your previous career. So back in 5 minutes, folks.
Okay.
All right. So, Jeff, I know you need to be gone in like 15 minutes, right?
No, actually, I don't have to. I canceled that other thing.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Fan-friggin-tastic. So my order from Chef's Plate just arrived, so I had to get that unpacked. Oh, man. I had my second jab yesterday, and apart from, like, my arm was sore yesterday, but that was the only symptom I had. Today, I just feeling super fucking worn down. It's tired, a little achy and whatnot, so it'll be a perfect excuse. It's raining here. We had thunder this morning. Perfect excuse to do fuck all for the rest of the day, except for reading gaming stuff. So, all right. So, how is everyone's character coming together? We almost got everyone. Oh, hi to everyone in chat as well, too. Hello, everybody. Jeffrey, what's going on? Pilar? Cornholio? Yeah.
I'm just adding my invocations, and then because I took Pact of the Chain, I need to pick a familiar.
William, always intrigued me, but never had the chance to play this world. Yeah, I agree. It's oh, you got a game in 50 minutes. Enjoy your game. It's one of William said it's one of those interesting settings that never got to. I'm in the same boat too. Like it seems really. I really liked what I read, and things seem like there's a lot of potential for an ongoing campaign, especially intrigue, kind of guild-focused one. So I'm interested to see. And these characters these guys are coming up with are pretty interesting. So I'm going to have a lot of fodder for that. Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So maybe what we'll do, guys, is while Mo is finishing up with Iago, and Vasul and Kabobo are finished. Carl, you sound like you're finished. Let's start rolling your contacts.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to, let's see here. Grow clan. So we already selected your clan. Where are we here? Yeah, here we go. Would you kindly give us a D8 roll? Please. 5. A druid in your clan believes you have a destiny to fulfill. Okay. Any ideas about this druid character? Like, from the way you've been describing the character as an athlete, I wonder whether this is someone who played a role in having you selected for this task.
Yeah, recruiting me for this task.
Okay.
Potentially.
Cool. Do you have an idea of what race the druid comes from?
I'll say, let's say not Minotaur, maybe an Elven druid.
Elf. Okay, an elf in the Gruul clan would be interesting. That's could be a renegade from the Selesnya Conclave. Elf druid. It's got to be a tough sucker to survive amongst ogres and ettins and giants and orcs and stuff. Okay, elf druid. Interesting. All right. Then non. So you get twice on the Gruul contact table. Give us another D8 roll. If it's a 5, I'll get you to re-roll. So I'll get you to re-roll.
Keeps rolling 5.
It really wants a druid. Okay, so I must talk this thing to druid. That's a problem. All right, the warrior who trained you remembers you for your exceptional potential. Do you think that's another athlete? Or another berserker, perhaps? Or someone who's, maybe concerned about your temper? Or what do you think here? I mean, the Holy Rage, that's a big part of the Gruul clan's identity.
Which one?
The Gruul clans are all about, like, embracing the rage. Because it's like what their sort of fury is in connection with is the fact that all the rest of the guilds basically fuck them over. Okay. Everyone else wants to do something other than what nobody wants to, nobody's interests necessarily parallel with the Gruul clans. So it could just be a personal, your fury could be aligned with you personally. It could be with that sort of collective anger at civilization. It could be a combination of the two. Okay, like the warrior who trained you could have been an embodiment of fury and whatnot, or like a relentless competitor, or, what do you think? Any ideas?
No. Right, you said there's like maybe it's like a either another Minotaur, maybe.
Okay. And as someone who's, do you think, like the druid, it sounds like would have had some influence in getting you a position here. Do you think this warrior likewise had a position of influence, or is this just someone else who happens to be in the clan who you can draw on, as a contact in the campaign?
I would say probably not related to the task.
Okay, so someone otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Is that person acting as a competitor, like an athlete now, or as a warrior, or some other capacity?
Maybe a retired athlete of some sort.
Okay,
or is responsible for training or.
Okay.
Yeah,
like a Mr. Miyagi type thing. Okay, love it. Then would you give us a D10 roll, please? This is your non-Gruul contact. 4. You consult with a Golgari shaman for spiritual guidance at times. That's interesting. That's the ones connected with like spores and the underworld and whatnot. How do you think you met that Golgari shaman? If I can throw out a idea here.
Yeah.
So the elves, the elves in Ravnica generally come, like I said, from 3 different places. There's dark elves that are part of the Golgari swarm. There's the elves that are part of the Selesnev, whatever, conclave. And there are the ones that are, like, they don't identify as a specific type of elf that are part of the Simic Combine. I wonder whether, because it's unusual for an elven druid to be part of Gruul, I wonder if this may be a relation, like your elf that you know in Gruul, in the Gruul clans, maybe that's a dark elf that used to be part, or was raised part of that, and this is someone who maybe you met as, they could be a sister, a wife, a husband, someone with a contact to your other contact, both, and maybe they both believe you've got a great fate, but one of them is more willing to be, willing to tell you about what your great fate is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Because that could be the reason why you go outside your clan and why you'd be willing to talk to this Golgari, this elven shaman. Dark elf shaman, too. That's super cool. Okay. Any idea with any other characteristics you want to add to these NPCs? Or you just want me to run wild with it?
I'm fine with however you...
Okay. Done. Dark elf druid. That's super cool. Alrighty. Is anyone else completed with their spells and whatnot and ready to roll some contacts?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, let's see here. The Azorius Senate. All right. So then first, Ingolf, would you kindly give us a D8 roll, please?
D8 roll, yes.
This will be your contact with the Azorius. So you joined the Azorius hoping to impress an arrestor who you admire.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you seeing Vasul getting involved in there? This is only suggestions. You don't need to take this. This is a prompting for ideas for your character. If that doesn't fit, we can...
No, I mean, it could be that there is someone I admire. Maybe, I don't know, some famous lawmaker or something like that.
So
someone who...
Arrestor is kind of like a cop, kind of like a detective.
Yeah, that was where I was a bit. So I think because he's a talkative guy, maybe.
Yeah.
So he's not a cop. So I don't know. But maybe this was someone who I don't know. Was very influential or something like that. Yeah, might be.
May I throw an idea out?
Yeah.
So the frontline law enforcement that you would most likely run into over the course of living in and growing up in Ravnica would be the Boros Legion. And the Boros Legion is many things, but a delicate implement it is not. It is it is a forceful hammer. So maybe you witnessed where the arrestor came in is you witnessed someone who could control a situation or a criminal or something like that or whatever with their talking. They talk their way into, like you can picture maybe there was a, there's several different groups that have giants in them. Maybe there was a like scarred Rakdos giant that went berserk at some point, and somehow this guy managed to talk it down, to get arrested, and maybe that was the...
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good, yeah.
Okay. Do you have an idea what race the character comes from? Could be human.
Yeah, so human would be nice, yeah? So
human?
Someone who could calm down a giant, that would be very, very...
sure.
Yeah, that would impress him, Mazul, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a sense of this arrester? Are they man or woman, otherwise?
It could be, could be a woman, maybe, actually.
And is it kind of like a force of personality that did it, or just like charm?
Yeah, more like being in command and just demanding to calm down. And for a strange reason, it worked.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm kind of, the picture that's going to my mind is Dame Judi Dench.
It could be, yeah.
Like from, like her version of M from the James Bond films. Like, what are you doing? Cut this out. Okay. So that's your first contact in the... Yeah. So she likely had a big role in getting you involved in this project. Yeah. What is... this is Vasul. Roll another D8, please, and re-roll if you get a 3.
Okay.
A 6.
No, I have 6.
6. A good friend was promoted into work they can't tell me about. So someone's doing it's not just the Dimir who are hiding secret jobs. Who do you think this might be?
I think maybe I joined the ranks of the Azorius Senate with some fellow who ended up to being a law mage.
Okay.
And now he does some kind of, I don't know, special task force stuff, and finds this bizarre because...
What are you thinking for race? And the nice thing with Ravnica too, you don't need to find yourself restricted to like to just like the PC races. This could be an uplifted giant owl. It could be one of the other unusual things, like Veldican. We haven't seen any Veldican in here.
Yeah, Vedalken. Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay,
yeah.
So a law mage who's a Veldican, and those are those slightly tall, slightly lean, blue-skinned humanoids that have kind of a Vulcan vibe to them. You've been saying him; it's a man.
Yeah, so maybe I think we joined the Senate together and tried to, I don't know, like meeting when there was some kind of swear in or something, whatever they do as a ritual. And
sure. Well, presumably you've been a member for several years, so because especially with your level 5, so this could have been someone who you had been sort of on the same career path with, and then they've now suddenly you're being assigned to this, and they've gone off into something, and they know what you're doing, but they can't talk about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's great. Yeah.
Okay, and then would you give us a D10 roll? This will be your non-Azorius contact.
So this is a 3?
A friendship with a Dimir agent who sometimes funnels him secrets about the Azorius activities. Interesting. So, Dimir agents have a lot of the house, or not house, but the Dimir, what is their organization called? Not Pact. House Dimir, I was right, okay. If you want to go weird with this, what about one of their vampires?
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe I think my character wears fine clothes and dresses and robes and so on. So maybe I found this this guy who has this kind of clothing shop, or is a tailor or something, and secretly he works for House Dimir, and I'm just talking while getting new dresses.
Yeah, love it. So it could be it's kind of like the what's his name from Garrick
Garrick.
from DS9.
Yeah, could be, yeah.
Shop spy. Okay. And oddly, his shop is only open at night. So weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but he has this sense of style and taste, which it's amazing.
Yeah, love it.
Well, that's not Garrick then. He might have been a good tailor, but shocking design, I'm afraid.
Okay. All right. So then that gives us your characters. Anything else you want to add about those characters before I take and run with them?
No.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Then, Mo or Jeff, how are you guys doing for getting your characters together?
Pretty good. I have my familiar, but I don't really know how to add it to the character sheet.
I mean, need to
or what what the best way to do that is. We could just leave that.
What familiar are you thinking?
I'm thinking of an imp. I think it's interesting if my otherworldly patron is sort of this angel, celestial character, and I have this little demon that kind of whispers in my ear, sort of the opposite. The kind of yin and yang of the very Orzhov to have sort of both voices in your head.
Absolutely.
Telling you what to do.
Okay.
But I'm ready to roll my contacts if you want.
Sure. Okay. So let's see here. Orzhov. All right. Okay, so Jeffrey, would you kind of give us a D8 roll, please?
Okay.
5. That is a silent spirit that follows you around.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh.
Should I write this on my character sheet somewhere?
No, I can write this. I mean, you can feel free to do that too. I'm gonna be for campaign prep between now and next session. My plan is for these the contacts that we're creating here. These are going to be sort of like the starting list of like contacts and whatnot that you guys will be dealing with as go-tos for the campaign.
Okay, cool.
So what are you picturing about this spirit? Is this like an ancestors of yours? Is it someone that the Orzhov has assigned? Is there a way that you can communicate? It says it's silent. It doesn't say that it's not incommunicative.
Right.
Or non-communicative.
I think that so my character Kabobo, he's really he's in it for the money. He's trying to get rich. He knows that the path through Orzhov can lead to riches, and so maybe he's a little greedy and a little money hungry, and sort of the Orzhov know this, like the council or whoever, and maybe he's even been caught because like when I rolled my my flaw, it was I'll take any opportunity to steal from wealthier people, even worthless trinkets. You know, maybe Kabobo's actually been busted by the Orzhov a couple times, and so they have sort of sent this spirit to sort of follow him around and make sure that he stays on sort of Orzhov business and doesn't get sucked into Kabobo's plans.
Does this spirit do you have does it manifest in a physical form, like that you can see, or do you just know it's always there? If it does manifest, what does it look like? Like, is it a human? Is it a...
Yeah, I think it's sort of a, like a human spirit. And I do think it manifests when it wants to sort of make the will of the council, like sort of shake his finger at him or tell him, no, don't do that. Like it sort of sometimes manifests to be sort of like, if I'm going too far off of Orzhov's goals, then it's sort of like...
And does it appear to be like, like a, clearly undead specter to you, or does it appear like a living thing, but like translucent, or like a force ghost kind of thing?
Yeah, I imagine sort of like a force ghost type thing. Sort of like the,
So just because I saw him recently in Loki, and I watched, there's a film about art theft that I saw him in too. What's his name? I've now completely forgotten. Richard. On here. Richard E. Grant.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he'd be great.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of just because he's got such an expressive face that he could, communicate all you need to know with like an arc of an eyebrow or
Exactly. And I think it's sort of the case of like Kabobo knows what he's, supposed to be doing. It's not that he's he's just willingly trying to, raise his own wealth sometimes. And
love it. Would you give us another D8 roll, please, and ignore 5, or re-roll 5?
okay.
7. 7 is a giant thinks you're adorable.
Nice.
Okay, what do you think about that?
What race is your character?
Goblin.
Goblin.
Oh, funny.
What do you think about this giant here? So I'm looking at the.
So this would be outside of Orzhov, correct? That's how the second one works.
No, this one is in Orzhov. Orzhov makes use of
Okay.
giants too, because remember they're also bankers.
Oh right.
Yeah, so they need enforcement to for those who would Dimir thieves or Rakdos tricksters or Gruul clans who want to do smash and grab. You need to have someone to back that shit up.
I mean, yeah, if you're saying this is sort of like a security, he's like sort of part of the security detail or whatever. I mean, maybe that's how Kabobo was getting away with some of his, petty theft or whatever.
There's an Orzhov giant.
Oh yeah, pretty intimidating looking.
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe he just thought it was sort of comical or whatnot. As I pocket an extra coin or whatever from the treasure that was seized,
Mm-hmm.
or and he just thought it was hilarious and cute and sort of let me get away with it because he he thought it was harmless, but then it was sort of.
So one of the things about the Orzhov giants, unlike other giants, they're not stupid. Their base intelligence is a +1. Did you maybe have a plot, or do you have a plot with this giant?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe it's sort of unwritten as well that if Kabobo can sort of succeed at his rise to wealth, he's sort of got a little, I'm going to hire you. You'll be my security kind of thing one day.
May I make another suggestion?
Yeah.
What if the thing that you got caught for, you said, you didn't rat out the giant?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, and maybe so right now, maybe they kind of know I had some kind of assistance. Maybe that's part of the other reason that the spirit follows me.
Yep.
It's sort of doing its own investigation to see if I'm, in cahoots with someone.
Okay. Excellent. Then last thing, sorry, I just closed my book, is your non-Orzhov contact. Would you give us a D10 roll, please?
Oh, full 10.
Full 10, all right. Orzhov, non-Orzhov. Oh, you were married to a Simic bioengineer.
Oh, wow.
So, that is really interesting.
So that means I am no longer? Or
It's past
currently...
So what
tense,
you rolled is past tense.
Right.
So
right.
It's your call for whether you threw your lot in, and I guess the thing is there's no restriction on species in this too. It could be a goblin because goblins have a sort of a culture and a district that they sort of live in here. Could be anyone though.
Well, see, I actually like so Simic and Orzhov are two of the very diametrically opposed guilds, right?
Yeah.
So maybe things just didn't work out, right? I wanted money and power, and she wanted, something. She wanted to keep escalating the sort of Simic goals, and now things just didn't work out.
Well, and one of the things that is part and parcel of being part of the Simic Combine is transforming your own flesh.
Oh, true.
So,
maybe she maybe I lost attraction to her too.
Could be that, or she could have pursued personal power where you pursued temporal power.
Right.
It's if she's a contact, she's still like you guys still get along well. Goblin or otherwise?
I like the idea that she started as a goblin.
Okay.
Maybe we grew up together. Like, you know, you were saying that sort of this area is like the goblin slums down there. So maybe we both sort of started out together there, and we're both ambitious and kind of got places and grew apart.
So I like the idea of, if that's the case, that she may be the agent from the Simic Combine who's been assigned to this project.
Oh,
So
maybe there's still some interesting feelings there. Who knows? Because if it's just grown apart, it doesn't mean that
Yep.
some of the old flame is obviously still there if we're still a contact.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. Anything else to add about any of these characters before we turn to Mo's contacts?
No, I think that's pretty good.
Okay. For all you guys too, like if you do think of stuff in the interim between now and 2 weeks from now, let me know, and then we'll incorporate that stuff. Then, Mo, are you ready to roll your contacts?
Yep.
Okay, give me 1 second here. And then would you kindly roll a D8, please? A 3. Your contact. A sibling is the head of a laboratory doing exotic research. So, tell me a little bit about this sibling. Brother, sister?
That's interesting. It would sort of like how I was thinking of building the character. Could we switch it around and say it's his son? Because I'm playing him as like a 55-year-old-ish.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe he's there's some conflict between them, and I've got some backstory which I'll do outside.
Okay.
But the idea is that
I would really prefer that backstory be kept to a minimum. I want bullet points, just like other campaigns. It's just because if Black backstory gets too extensive beyond what we're just talking about here, it becomes too much to incorporate, and I don't want to invalidate what you've got. It for the way that I run games, having extensive, like I'm not interested in the story that's happened already. I want to know what are the interesting things we need to see happen at the table. So just when you give me your backstory stuff, keep that in mind.
No, it'll just be half a dozen bullet points.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say it's his son, and he's like a bit more of a junior position now, as it were.
Well, it sounds like he's the head of an exotic laboratory, so you are definitely below him. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What is the relationship like? Is the son embarrassed of you, or is it like you were glad to see him go beyond?
I think the son's embarrassed with him because I'm going to play him as a slightly weird scientist type.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit prone to like blurting stuff out that he possibly shouldn't.
Okay. All right. Anything else we need to know about this son?
No, I think we can just say he's better politically, maybe, than I am.
Definitely, if he's got that position over you. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, I'll let you decide if you think there's some interesting stuff you want to put in or not.
Sure. Well, and to be clear, just like in other games too, like I'm much more interested in things that come out as we're connecting dots on the go. I don't want to be working from a script because that doesn't interest me.
No.
Right. So
no, we can just see how it plays out in the game then.
Yeah, and like Mo, if you want to, you can have that backstory for whatever thing you think has happened and reveal it in play.
Okay.
I'm much more interested in seeing that happen, than in the same way that you would learn about characters in, good film, good cinema, whatever else. Seeing them in the course of the actual thing is much more interesting than reading about them beforehand. So if what you'd rather do is it sounds like you got a good idea for where your character's coming from. I'd be more interested in seeing that come out in play than I would having to read about it.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
I'll go with that then.
Okay, yeah, because I don't want to take away you obviously can create your backstory and whatnot too, just that for the purpose of the campaign, I'm more interested in seeing that revealed than reading about it. All right, so then the second one, give us a D8 roll, please. And if you get a 3, re-roll it, please. So re-roll that. 8. Guildmaster Niv Mazet took note of one of your experiments.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So something to think about. I think the reason that you've been assigned to this over a bunch of, more politically positioned characters is probably because of that experiment.
Right. So, I'll maybe think about what that experiment might be.
Yeah, and this is part of the reason why I prefer to just see characters come together. It's much more interesting to see you guys put stuff together rather than, have to adjust stuff. So anyway, but again, that's just there's not a wrong way to approach campaigns for those listening at home. This is just happens to be how I prefer to structure campaigns from the get-go. All right, so there's an experiment happened that caught his attention. Have you met with the Guildmaster more than once, do you think?
Yeah, I'd imagine at least twice. Maybe the first time I demonstrated it, it had some weird backlash.
Okay.
And he was present. And then, presumably again, when he selected me for this, saying, well, I remember when you did, blah, blah, blah. And I think you're ideal for this.
Okay.
Or alternatively, he thinks I'm a waste of space and he's just doing a dead-end job.
I may have some suggestions for what the experiment might relate to. As well too. Let me think about it because I've got there's some ways to connect to the sort of meta plot that I got in mind for this. So last thing is will be your non-Azoria or non-Izzet contact. Give us a D10 roll, please. A 6. Roll an additional Izzet contact. You can decide if the contact is an ally or a rival.
I think we'll say rival.
Oh, you know what? One thing I fucked up, guys. So the first one you roll in Azorius is your ally. Second one is your rival in the guild.
Oh,
right.
So what that means is I forgot. So actually, Niv Mizzet is your rival, and it's still assigned. Okay. The warrior who trained you, Carl, that is your rival. The Azorius, who was pressed into secret work, Vasul, he's actually your rival.
Yeah.
And then the giant. That actually makes sense, too, with what we've set up, Kabobo. That giant is your rival now.
So, I like it.
Maybe he, at first, thought, like, oh, what a nice guy. He took the fall. Wait a minute. He's holding this over me.
Totally.
So, all right, so then this one you get to decide. Mo, give us another D10 roll, and re-roll if you get a 6 again. Oh, sorry, then actually a D8 roll. Forgive me, D8 roll.
Yeah.
4. A former colleague is now an attendant in a laboratory in the Central Guild Hall. If I might make a suggestion, that might be an ally. If Niv Mizzet is your enemy, having someone in
I don't think... Yeah.
Okay.
I think a former co-worker, maybe.
Yeah. Any thoughts about this former colleague?
I quite like the idea of the Vendalken. The cerebral...
Vidalken? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're playing your character as an older character who sort of... His career stalled and his son sort of was in ascendance.
Yeah.
Maybe this is someone from, like, as a contemporary of yours. Someone who's older, and then that's maybe why they're in there. Do you think it's pity, or is it a debt they owe to you, or what's the reason for them owing this, what do you call it?
Yeah, I think maybe they owe me a debt, because maybe they think I was hard done by, for whatever reason, that I'm no longer, I'm not at the level that they are.
Okay. It sounds like pity then. Is it an actual debt that you actually helped them with something?
I think, I helped them with something, and...
So if you help them, here's a suggestion, Moan. You can take us or leave it, but what if that like your specific insight helped them with the like sort of the development that led them to get ahead in the organization? You noticed a critical flaw in their calculations or their design or whatever that you fixed, and then it worked fine, but you let them take the credit.
Yeah. So yes, maybe we both worked on it, but they got the credit.
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be like Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs say.
Okay. Is the relationship acrimonious between you and this person, and you're sort of like you're calling on them like you're gonna fucking tell me what's going on, or are they like friends? Or
I think they're sort of friends.
Okay. Love it. Well, they wouldn't be if it's a Vidalken. It's not going to be super angry either, but that's very interesting. Okay, cool. So you know what? I wonder whether Niv Mizzet actually did intend for you to get in here. Your friend may have maybe crossed out a name and put a different name in. So you've got this assignment as like a, you can picture the meeting with your son. You're like, so I'm going to be involved in that project for what? And your son's, you? Really? They selected you for this. Because I imagine you're... Yeah. All right. So, and interestingly, if you're 55, you may have been a young person when Nico Bolas invaded.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I was probably involved with the events of, was 25 years ago?
So it could, maybe in the events of that stuff, like you would not have been a senior person there, but what if you somehow, you didn't perform the way Niv Mizzet was expecting you to? I mean, it would be unreasonable. However unreasonable it is, that may be the reason they're carrying a grudge against you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You may remember Niv Mizzet actually died during that that invasion. So, cool. All right, guys. So we got that's a great selection of NPCs for this. How are we doing for character creation now? Does everyone have their characters all together?
I've certainly got all the spells. I'm going to have to work out where I put all the infusions and the other stuff, though.
That under your talents, or whatever not talents, but whatever the thing is. Yeah, just put them down there. And then, let's see here. I think that. You guys will, because of the place you have with the organizations, I am going to give each of you a charm associated with your guild. So I'm on page 173 of the book, if you guys have that. Otherwise, it's probably somewhere in the compendium. The Azorius charm allows you to cast Hold Person, the 3rd level version, Command, or Counterspell. And after you activate it, it vanishes. So you have one-time use for you, Ingolf, of Hold Person, Command, or Counterspell.
Yeah, okay.
For Carl, Trovik has a Gruul charm. You can cast Heroism or Thunder Wave. Or as a reaction, when you miss with a weapon attack, you can make another attack against the target you missed, and then it vanishes. You might be muted, Carl.
Gruul charm, you said?
Gruul charm, yeah. The House House Orzhov one. Was that an accident? Orzhov charm, it allows you to bestow curse or fear, or within 30 feet of you, when a creature is reduced to 0 hit points, you can use your reaction to have it drop to 1 hit point instead. That's for you, Kabobo.
Okay, bestow curse or fear, and if they drop below 1 hit point, I can choose them to be 1 hit point instead. Are you going to paste this somewhere? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's actually in the. If you do a search for the charms, they'll show up in the compendium because it's part of.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
And then the Is It charm, when you activate it, you cast Dispel Magic or Lightning Bolt. Alternatively, as an action, you can regain 1 expended spell slot of 3rd level or lower, and then it vanishes. That's for you, Iago. And then I will figure out what other magic items you guys will start with as well between. I'll find something thematic for you guys. Okay. Otherwise, I think do we have illustrations selected for any characters yet?
I selected for Trovik. Just
nice. Okay, let's see.
Yeah. So,
oh yeah, a couple of them. Nice. Okay, so Trovik. Rah! That guy.
I could use the. I think there was a standard Minotaur that you might get with the pack, so you could use that one.
Oh, okay.
It's a Minotaur out of the book, so.
Yeah. I think that's actually one of the Minotaurs from Ravnica, isn't it?
Yeah.
One you selected? Okay, so it's Trovik. Yeah. I'll edit the images as well to get you set up. And if you prefer the one out of the... Is it out of the Monster Manual?
No, it's the one... It's the one from the Ravnica book is the one I use.
Okay, I'll find it and get that for you. Let's see. Oh, in which case I'll not set up the token just yet. Vasul. Nice. That's awesome. Oh, and he's got a bagpipe too. That's terrific.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay, so see here, visible to everyone, because we want you guys to be able to track each other's hit points. There we go. Okay, whoop. C, bottom overlapping. The Bard has a kind of, what's inspiration is their class thing, right?
Yeah.
Class resource, okay. So there you go. Yeah. Your blue bar will be your class resource, and it'll update for your character sheet as well.
Yep.
Okay, great. Kabogo and Iago, do you guys have images for your characters as well?
I haven't been able to really find a good image yet that I like, so...
Okay.
I've been looking.
Yeah. All right. So then, guys, I guess with everyone, is there anything else? Oh, I forgot to ask you, Mo. Is there anything else I need to know about these characters that we've rolled up your contacts before I go to start working on the game?
Are you asking Mo or each one of us?
For any of you guys, if we're at this point, if there's anything else you guys want to tell me about the characters or the contacts we've rolled up, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just add, so I have personal flaws and so on, so I wrote them.
Mm-hmm.
And it came up that I failed so a murderer was acquitted because, I did something wrong, so I want him punished, so this can turn up at some point.
Yeah. So it's not just Iago who's been kind of, or Kabobo. You guys are sort of, that's three characters who are created, or errors, and somehow they find themselves in this pretty important position now.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. What about Trovik? Anything more I need to know about Trovik?
No, not that I can think of.
Lingering pain from old injuries.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. Maybe that rival gave it to me.
Well, and I kind of like it's neat to have some characters who are coming in with, where they are the ones dealing with internal stuff. Trovik with the two rival elven druids, they may be trying to play you. So maybe external forces that are working on Trovik. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds
right.
That could be good.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So then, we got Kabobo.
That's as close as I can find.
Okay. Nice. All right, and you should have at least one. What do you call it? Class resource. I think it's probably your spell slots. Let's see here. Okay. For the warlock, class resource. Why do you have your class resource at a 6 right now?
Because it's my level +1. The healing light?
Oh, so those are two. No, the class resource at default is your spell slots. What you're going to want to add in is a second class resource.
What are you talking about?
So it is listed under here.
Like mine on my where it says healing light?
Hold on, let's see.
Or are you talking about something else?
Yeah, because it's already calculated because you're a warlock. Did you add healing light, or did it say it there?
I don't know. It put that in there when I added the Pact of the Celestial.
Let's do this.
I didn't type that in there.
There we go. So you're going to have 2. 6 is the maximum. 6 is to use. This is spell slots. Okay. Now I should be able to... So your token... Oh, here we go. Bottom, overlapping. Did you enter your hit points yet?
I did. Oh. Or did I do that wrong?
I think...
Put them in...
Should be... Have your... Max should be, I think, on top, or the current on top and the max below.
So it goes right like this. And this should be... This is just 5. Current hit points, 38. There we go. That's what you want, I think.
Okay, let me... So I may need to look through here.
So the only thing I'm missing is I need to pick up just a common weapon and do my armor class based on my leather armor.
There you go. Okay.
And the familiar.
Familiar, yes. I'll also drag and drop that as a separate character for you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and then I'll gain access. Alrighty, so I need to figure out how to add that second class resource. Oh, hold on here. No?
Oh, and I have 2 languages that I didn't pick because I'm not sure what the do they have other guild languages or is it just creature languages?
No, it's pretty much the same as in a standard D&D game.
Okay.
But let's see here. Power bonus custom. Okay, I will have to look through here. I do not see where I can add that second thing onto your token. So your healing light. I'll just put a 6 and 6 for now. And everyone, and then I'll see if. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, what the heck. All right. Roll 20. What are you doing to me? I must have hit something here. Oh, the text overlay is hidden. That's what's wrong. Okay. Ugh, fuck it. I'll fix it between here. There we go. There we go. I fixed something. All right. And Iago, still no character. Okay, so sorry, guys. Is there anything else I need to know about these characters before we call it a session?
I think as part of the background, given I was involved with something 25 years ago, he's been exiled or away, and then he was brought back in some method.
I think that it's just you're away in the sense of, like, you're working in the basement of somewhere that doesn't matter.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah. Like, there's nowhere else. I don't want to involve anywhere else in Ravnica. Yep. You're still working around the central area, but yeah, that totally fits. All right.
So do you actually want us to roll the floors and what have you? Or
your choice. You can pick them or you can roll them. It sounds like everyone else rolled theirs.
Well, I think I'm going to pick them because I know what the character background would fit him.
Yep.
So I'll fill those in.
Okay. Then, anything else we need to do, guys? Sorry, we're a half hour early right now, but to be honest, I am pretty worn down from the fucking vaccine. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't mind if we called it a little earlier today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mo can watch. Mo can watch Italy England. England's up by 1, by the way.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I haven't heard any shouts from the pub next door, but it's raining, so.
Shit! Yeah.
No.
All right. Well then,
we have a big Italian community, as I said, so there's going to be celebrations either way tonight.
Yeah, nice.
Just not like in Leicester Square, I hope. Anyway.
All right. So then, with that, guys, we'll bring this character creation thing to a close. There's a couple things that you need to update in your character sheet. Mo, Carl, I'll find that illustration for you for your. What do you call it? Your Minotaur. If you guys have anything else, we got the.
Discord. I like the illustration that I have, so it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Put on there.
Done.
Yeah, I'll find something suitable.
Okay. Then I think I can quite easily get yours done here, Carl. Mm-hmm. So it is finished. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Okay, and let's see. So to everyone.
Well, that image is awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Of Vasul. Does he actually play the bagpipes? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, so I had... so he is proficient in bagpipes.
Nice.
Love it. Outstanding. All right, guys. So then that is... here. Bar's just playing the wrong place here. Hold on. below the bottom. There we go. All right, guys. So, and that's your what do you call it? Your rage is or frenzy is tracked by the blue bar there, Carl. Awesome. Okay, so then for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this character creation session for our upcoming 5th edition campaign, Ravnica Down and Out in Precinct 6. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video. You can also find a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server. We're all active there, and we have channels dedicated to all the games we have on the channel. This one is currently under our 5th edition D&D channel for the public. So you guys are more than welcome to join us over there. If you, you'll also find channels over there dedicated to all the other games we run on the channel, as well as all the other campaigns. There's also a bunch of channels dedicated to finding a group, to online conventions, to a bunch of great people, a bunch of great conversations, and you are more than welcome to join us over there. In addition, down below there is a link to the Heroes Save Villages campaign. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, and from now until August 1st, 2021, for every $25 that you donate, you get one chance, $25 Canadian, you get a chance to win the grand prize or one of the other great prizes we have in our next charity raffle. The grand prize is a copy of Beadle and Grimm's Legendary Edition Curse of Strahd box. That is, I mean, I say box, it's a box set with a bunch of maps and a bunch of other great stuff, including Jeff's favorite, the puppets. You know, I keep getting messages from Jeff. Kev, when are we going to see puppets in the game again? Don't worry, Jeff, I got you covered. The Rakdos are notorious for their puppet shows, so I would anticipate seeing more puppets than you could possibly ask for, which is 0. He's asked for 0 puppets. But we'll go one better and give you some puppets in our Rakdos thing. If you don't win that as a grand prize, the second prize is a copy of Beadle and Grimm's Shadowy Silver Edition of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. If you don't win that, there's still a bunch of other great prizes, including a chainmail dice bag made by our resident armor smith, Dave. There's a bunch of, or 2 Dungeon Crawl Classic modules that were donated by our buddy George. There are copies of, let's see here, I picked up a copy of the Jackal's Bronze Age RPG, Bronze Age Fantasy RPG, and the author of that game has donated a copy of the brand new Fall of the Children of Bronze mega campaign for that. It's a terrific game that we played in the channel a fair amount in recent history, and it was very generous of him to donate a copy of that. If you don't win that, there's still a copy of the 2D20 Acton Cthulhu starter game, and if you don't win that, there's still a bunch of great prizes from the Dungeon Musings Red Bubble Shop. Oh, and the 2 Lazy Dungeon Master books donated by a star of the community, Lord Zordran. So thank you so much for donating that too. So, and the best thing is all donations go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel. None of it goes to any other middleman. It all just goes to help those kids who have who benefit from the services. Anna's reminding me. Okay. Anna also says that if you have donated since April 1st, be sure to head over to the Charity Initiatives tab on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, because you can vote for what game we're going to play at the end of August, or what pulp action game we're going to play. And in the week leading up to that adventure, you'll also be able to spend the money that you donated to help either equip our heroes or determine what story elements we're going to be incorporating into that adventure. I haven't decided how that's going to go yet. It's really going to come down to what game gets selected. The last thing I will say today is an enormous thank you to the players. So Mo, Carl, Ingolf, and Jeff, it is terrific to see all of you back. Ingolf in particular, we haven't seen Ingolf in quite a while. It's terrific to have you back at the table again, Ingolf. We've missed you like crazy. I've been weeping myself to sleep every Sunday night that we've missed you at the table, so welcome back. Until we'll be back with this campaign, kicking it off proper in 2 weeks' time. Until then, if you are still dealing with the lingering effects of the current crisis, we hope this finds you healthy, safe, and weathering the current crisis as well as can be expected. We hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that these newfound heroes may be getting themselves into. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.